Let's dive into 20 interesting facts about Six Guns. You know, it's kind of crazy to think about, but this pocket-sized adventure forever changed what we expected from mobile gaming. It was this massive leap forward for its time, pretty much proving that our phones could handle so much more than just simple puzzle games. So let's look at exactly how they managed to pull off such a wild feat.
Number 1. Okay, so it's wild to think about this now, but this legendary game actually first dropped on iOS all the way back in late 2011. And then Android players joined the party just a few months later. To really put that into perspective for a second, we are talking about the iPhone 4S era. Back then, the mere idea of holding a sprawling 3D Western adventure right in the palm of your hand, that was basically science fiction. Number 2. To actually make that 2011 launch happen, the developers had this absolutely massive ambition. They wanted to squeeze a true console-level experience onto those tiny little mobile screens. They just weren't satisfied with the basic minigames of the time. Instead, they were totally dedicated to pushing that early hardware to its absolute breaking point, trying to capture the kind of graphics and depth you'd normally only get playing on a TV.
Number 3. So beyond all the tech wizardry, what really made this stand out was its super cool blend of creative influences. The team didn't just stick to your typical movie cowboys or dusty saloon shootouts. Nope, they went ahead and mixed in some incredibly wild, spooky, frontier folklore into the whole thing. And you might be wondering, what kind of creepy stuff did they actually add?
Number 4. Well, this is where the identity of the game really shines. Instead of just dealing with your standard outlaws and rival gangs, they decided to mash up traditional cowboys with, get this, vampires, witches, and ghosts, and they put them all inside one crazy, cohesive universe. It was such a brilliant, unexpected twist that completely changed how you explored the map, because honestly, you never knew what was going to be lurking in the shadows.
Number 5. And hey, look at that, we're already a quarter of the way through our facts. Anyway, it's just so fascinating to look back at the developers' bold vision for open-world scale. You gotta remember, at that time, the top of the mobile charts was totally dominated by 2D stuff, like Angry Birds. Literally almost nobody in the mobile space was even attempting to give players a complete horizon to explore. Number 6. Just imagine the technical gymnastics it took to pull this off. They literally had to build this gigantic world to run on early smartphones, which were incredibly weak compared to the supercomputers we carry around in our pockets today. The devs were constantly battling these severe memory limits and the very real threat of phones overheating, all while just trying to keep everything running smoothly.
Number 7. Thanks to all that insane behind-the-scenes effort, the sheer size of the map ended up being a real historical achievement for mobile gamers. Think about what it was like back then. You're staring at this tiny 3.5-inch screen, but you're seeing a vast desert landscape that actually took real time to cross. It felt endlessly huge, and it gave players this profound sense of total freedom.
Number 8. And you know what the best part was? It wasn't just some big, empty sandbox. It was a living, breathing frontier. You could bounce right from an intense story shootout straight into hunting down hidden secrets, or even testing your speed in a horse race. By packing the world with so many different activities, they made sure there was always a really good reason to peek over the next ridge.
Number 9. Because of all that incredible freedom, it immediately drew some really flattering comparisons to Rockstar's legendary console hit, Red Dead Redemption. Having that kind of real-world connection to a massive AAA title definitely skyrocketed its reputation. For a lot of players, it genuinely felt like they were getting a really similar, high-stakes Western experience, but entirely on the go.
Number 10. Wow, we are officially halfway through our facts. So, to make that giant map traversable, the team really had to nail the authentic feeling of riding across the frontier. They paid super close attention to the sound design of the hooves and the galloping animations. They made sure that traveling on horseback didn't just feel like a chore, but felt immersive, fun, and completely vital for surviving out in the wild.
Number 11. Circling back to that perfectly weird tone we talked about earlier, mixing these genres together was honestly a stroke of genius. Seeing historical cowboys going toe-to-toe with pure fantasy horror give it this totally unique identity you just couldn't find anywhere else. It kept the gameplay super fresh. I mean, one minute you're breaking up a bank robbery, and the next you're literally fighting off a monster.
Number 12. Ultimately, this hugely ambitious project proved something massive to the entire industry. That epic open-world action games absolutely belonged on our phones. It really changed the conversation around mobile gaming, and it paved the way for other developers to start taking much bigger risks and designing way more complex, expansive titles for touchscreens.
Number 13.
We got to give a huge shout out to the dedicated fan base here. So many players fell completely in love, sinking hundreds of hours into this, mainly because it finally gave them a console-quality adventure right in their pockets. Fans even created these super active forums to share tips, hidden spots, and strategies, building a surprisingly tight-knit community around the whole thing.
Number 14. And a huge reason those fans stuck around was just the sheer visual spectacle of it all. Players were absolutely blown away. The breathtaking visual leap, the dynamic lighting, and the innovative world design, it all completely shattered what everyone thought a mobile game could look like. It was a true showcase piece you used to show off exactly what your phone could do.
Number 15. Just a quick heads up, we only have 5 facts left. So this incredible success really cemented Gameloft as an absolute powerhouse in those early smartphone days. Proving they could handle a massive open-world Western meant that players really trusted them to deliver deep experiences across other genres too. It kind of kicked off a whole golden era of mobile games.
Number 16. But, what happens when technology outpaces the code? It's a bit of a bittersweet reality. As smartphones evolved super fast with new screen sizes and operating systems went through these massive updates, this beloved game just couldn't keep up. It got fewer patches over time and slowly began slipping away from being compatible with modern devices.
Number 17. Adding to that heartbreak, despite endless begging and years of passionate requests from fans, a proper sequel just never saw the light of day. There was so much untapped potential there, right? New supernatural enemies, fresh frontier towns to explore, unresolved storylines. But sadly, all those awesome ideas were just left entirely to our imagination.
Number 18. And then came the end of an era. After over a decade of delivering absolute cowboy chaos and thrilling adventures, the game was finally pulled from major app stores around September 20th, 2022. It was definitely a tough pill to swallow for the community, and it marked the official close of one of mobile gaming's most ambitious chapters.
Number 19. But as we know, true legends rarely stay buried forever. Even though the servers are quiet and it's currently an abandoned franchise, the fans are still incredibly loyal. People are actually still actively begging for a grand revival, a remaster, or a port even today. That is truly a testament to how deeply this experience resonated with its audience.
Number 20. All right, here we are at our final fact. Ultimately, Six Guns leaves us with a really beautiful core message that courage, survival, and redemption can be found even in the absolute harshest of frontiers. It kind of makes you wonder, right? If mobile hardware has advanced this much since 2011, what kind of unbelievable open worlds are we going to be carrying in our pockets a decade from now? Well, if you enjoyed this explainer, please smash that like button, share it with a fellow gamer, and make sure to subscribe for more epic trivia.